What's good, guys? It's Michael, and in this video I'm going to help you guys get the most out of your back workouts to make sure that you're popping for the beach. So the first thing we want to do when we're initiating any back movement is to squeeze those shoulder blades together. And the way you can do that is by pulling your shoulders back and making your chest pop. It's also important that you're standing tall in an erect position so you're taking any unnecessary stress off of your lower back. So when we initiate the movement in the concentric portion, it's important that you're not just going through the motion. You're not just trying to get the weight from point A to point B. You have to visualize your back contracting, right? So don't just think of point A to point B, think of the contraction. Visualizing is really going to help you. Now, after the concentric phase, we hit the transition phase. And essentially the transition phase is the phase that you're transitioning from the concentric to the eccentric portion. Now, I want you to pause during this transition phase. And if you can't pause during the transition phase, you're using too much weight. You're just going through the movement and you're ego lifting. So lower the weight a little bit and try to pause at that transition phase. And this is really where we're going to test if you're activating your back properly. The first thing you want to do is pause on that transition phase and try to squeeze your shoulder blades back even more. If you can dramatically squeeze your shoulder blades back more, then you're not activating your back properly. You're just going through the movement. Make sure that your back is squeezed the entire time. When you're training back, you should have that runner's high, or if you're training legs, you know how you have that burning sensation? It's the same thing when you're training back. And if you don't understand this analogy, chances are you're not training legs properly either. Another thing you can do during the transition phase is having a training partner touch that muscle group. And this is really going to bring that conscious attention to that muscle group and yet again help you visualize those muscles contracting and squeezing. And then when we're on the eccentric portion, we want to make sure we control that weight all the way down, and then we're going to go ahead and repeat for the next repetition. Something that's going to help you in most back movements is if you lean back slightly. Now, the easiest way for me to explain this is when you're doing pull-ups. You're going to see that some people who do pull-ups are just going to get their chin above that bar, right? And then you're going to see the people who have more developed backs that are going to bring that whole chest to the bar. And this is the same thing with lat pull down or seated row. If you just lean back a little bit, it might help you bring those arms further back to help you contract your back even more. A lot of people that train back are going through the movement, not feeling that contraction, and they're even gaining momentum on the concentric phase. So if you're doing seated row, they'll bend their knees back and forth to help them create that momentum. Make sure that you're locking those knees or that your lower half of your body is not playing any role in helping you move that weight. Another thing that I like to incorporate into my workouts is doing different planes of motion when training back. Now, these are going to favor different muscle groups of the back, and it's also going to help you get a different feel. So you could do horizontal movements such as seated row and dumbbell row, and then you could also do vertical movements like pull-ups and lat pull down. And then another component is the other section, and that's where you're doing things like face pulls or even front lateral raises. I hope you guys did enjoy that video. If you did, be sure to smash that thumbs up button and support the channel, as well as subscribe if you haven't already. I upload content weekly, and every week it's going to be beneficial to you learning, and it's going to be informative, and it's going to be factual. I'm not going to confuse you guys with facts and opinions. If you're interested in getting 20% off any BPI products, you can use my discount code, which you can find in the description box down below. I'm also interested to hear what you guys have to say about this video. Comments or suggestions, positive or negative feedback is more than welcome, as I'm always looking to interact with the community and improve my content. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Have a great day. The reason many people don't do what they say they're going to do is because they start feeling sorry for themselves, or they come up with excuses. There's a quote, "Excuses sound best to the people making them up."